Well, good evening, everybody. This is Carpo, and that's the moon. It's been a beautiful day here in Portland. I just wanted to make this video. I was talking with my mom earlier about, we were talking about various topics, and I mentioned how I had been talking with someone about life purpose, as far as what you deem to be your life purpose, if any. Or perhaps you give yourself one, or believe that there's one laid out for you, whatever it may be. And, hi Mom, by the way. My mom watches my videos. It's kind of weird having a mom watch your videos, but hey, she's my mom, right? So, she knows me better than anybody, I guess. Well, to an extent. There's always that secret self that we only know, but that's the image we have of ourselves. As far as life purpose, we were talking about, she mentioned how, something about Oprah and how she got this call from this person that said, she says, I'm at home, I've got 3 kids, and I feel like there's something missing. I feel like I need to find my purpose, what I need to be doing. And, the obvious answer to that would be, you're living your purpose right now. You have your children. Your children need you. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is that when you're a parent, your children are your life purpose. And sometimes we can become too attached to that. I heard Manly Hall talking. It was actually a video or an audio lecture Manly Hall did about the golden years. And I found it very interesting because I was able to get a perspective from someone who is of that age, over 60, 70, who has to decide whether they want to continue on with having purpose in life or to, quote, retire. And we seem to have this image in our society that retiring means you're just done. And of course we know that's not true. It's because Manly Hall was making the point that many elders have actually come forth with, for example, one lady didn't do much all her life. She was just a parent. That's what she did. And after she was, in her 60s, she wrote this book that became one of the foremost botany books of that time. Very important book in history. And people can always contribute something. It's a matter of, we want to make an impact, and we want to feel like what we're doing is purposeful. Even those who don't believe in a life purpose or a destiny or anything like that still want to have purpose to their life. We create a purpose, or we're given a purpose. It's our choice. And I prefer to create a purpose, but at the same time, I one of the points I wanted to make was allowing the universe to tell you what you want, tell you what you need, and to help you along your path. Because sometimes we don't know. My mom had actually recommended a book to me. It's called The Alchemist. And once she told me about the story, it's a rather short book. I knew the storyline, so what I did was I looked up this The Alchemist summary on. You can get it for free on Kindle and read it. I'd recommend it to anybody who can, go on there and check it out if you have Kindle or whatever. The summary basically lays out the book as it is, which is basically a parable, a metaphor, an archetype of a person who is seeking their life path and goes along their entire journey, and in a nutshell, they discover that their life path is there before them if they pay attention. And one of the main themes of the book was beginner's luck. You hear that term a lot, and it is of some people's belief that beginner's luck is merely the universe allowing you to fulfill a particular path, or to at least step into a pair of shoes so you can start walking that path. And it's never as easy as it is at the beginning. But if you try something and it's easy, it may be very well that, that's part of your path. Now, this is, of course, getting into the mystical side of life, and that leaves behind rational thinking. Um, to believe that the universe has a purpose for you is one way to view it, but rather, I'm not trying to present it that way, but rather you finding out which stream has the least resistance, which current you can follow the easiest without making serious erroneous decisions, such as, of course it would be easier to just steal money from someone else to live. That would be the path of least resistance. However, you would get the most resistance from your own conscious mind and your guilt, assuming that you're a person with values and integrity. We don't like to hurt each other. So it's human nature to want to have more for ourselves, but at the same time we know that if we don't help others around us, we're never fulfilled. So it's part of our path and our destiny, whatever we choose, to have other people in mind. And back to Manly Hall, he was talking about how many of the elders often spend their whole lives dedicated to their children. And once their children are gone and they have grandchildren, then they become obsessed with the grandchildren. But then once the grandchildren are gone, there's really nothing left, and they feel like they have no purpose, when the truth is that that was just one chapter in a life. So we can't become too attached to what we're doing at the moment. For example, I'm a carpenter, or at least I was before I messed my back up. I'm still a carpenter. I still know how to build. I just can't do heavy lifting and labor like I used to, And I don't let it get me down, because it was just a chapter. And everything is a chapter. In other words, just because you fail at one thing or something doesn't work out, you may have a business that's thriving for 5-10 years and then collapse. It just means that it's time to move on. So it all really comes down to your mental acuity, your ability to sort out the details, and to not let the what ifs or what could have beens get you down in life. And that allows us to move on cleaner and clearer with a clear mind, because we all know that anxiety and stress and fear causes irrational thinking. It actually produces cortisol in the bloodstream and puts us into fight or flight, which takes the energy away from our brain and puts it into our body. So those who live in fear or feel like they don't have what they want often are not thinking clearly. So thinking clearly requires being cool, calm, and collected at all times, especially in the face of an emergency, And then your path will just fall before you. No resistance, Responding to emergencies is a key thing, I think. It's can't be underscored, but underrated. But there's a book called Deep Survival. Can't remember the author, but phenomenal read. You can get it on audiobook. And ex-military fellow who talks about situations in airplanes and accidents and military problems where people were under extreme pressure and stress, and the types of thinking that we have to do. And you can compare it to everyday life. We all make quick decisions, and they're hasty. If they're hasty because we feel stressed out, then, Anyway, I'm getting off of life purpose and into anxiety now, so I'll move back and say have a great evening, everybody, and take care. Don't stress out, yo.